Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 68 for Tuesday, the 20th of April, 2021. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag PSND, Steam ID, Webby360G, and joining me on this fine evening is...
What you gonna do when a 24-inch pythons run wild on you? It's Mr. Peebs.
What? I don't understand what he's going on about there. It's number one stunt master.
How's it going?
Because I've been playing retro wrestling.
Awesome.
The method to the madness.
Means I've never played a wrestling game ever.
No, oh my goodness. I remember one of my favourite wrestling games was WWF Raw is War on the PS1. So good. So fucking good. And there was one on the 64 which was really awesome to play couch cup with your mates. It caused a lot of arguments back in the day for me and my mates, but it was so fun. So good.
Yeah. What, so you've never heard about the 24-inch pythons, Stunty?
No. I'm not into
Hulk Hogan?
I've never, ever been into wrestling, ever. The only wrestling I probably ever watched was when they had the wrestling on ITV back in the day.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, that was probably, and I only sort of glimpsed on it. And I remember Big Daddy, and there was the other dude, I can't remember what the other dude's name was now.
Giant Haystacks.
Yeah, that's it, Giant Haystack. That was it, and that's all I remember. And all I looked at and thought was two fat old dudes on the telly, rolling around on the floor.
In their pants.
I'm like, yeah, in their pants, and I'm like, what am I, 13, 14? And I just looked at it and went, phew, and moved on.
I mean, personally, I think I lived through the best era of WWF, now called WWE because it's stupid World Wildlife Fund bollocks. Yeah, it was the greatest time because I went through my childhood and teenage years watching Stone Cold versus The Rock and all that era, the Attitude Era as it's called, and oh fuck me, it was so good. Mate, Stone Cold Steve Austin actually broke his neck for reals. I saw Owen Hart. Yeah, well, I saw the live show where Owen Hart died live.
Was you watching that, was you?
Yeah, I was watching it live. I was only 15 years old, watching it live at like 2 o'clock in the morning at my mate Dave's house, as some people might know him as the deadliest man in gaming.
God.
Yeah, I was round his house because his dad used to pay for the pay-per-view for us, so we'd watch it. And all of a sudden, like, you'd see him coming down on the zip wire, then the screen went black. It was like, what the fuck's happening? It was like, oh my god, you know. And then I remember the presenter saying, oh, we've just had a very sad thing happen. And we were like going, is this part of the show? Or what the fuck's going on? And, you know, it actually died live on air. And it was fucking mental, you know.
The only wrestling thing I probably have watched recently, well, there's two I've just thought of. One was there was an English film about a girl. It was based on a true story about the girl that went over to...
Oh, yeah. With The Rock in it.
Yeah, that's right. That was quite a good film.
Or was it something My Family or something, isn't it?
Yeah, Fighting My Family or something. Yeah,
I've not seen it, but it's meant to be great. Yeah, I love The Rock. It was so cool. Such a cool guy.
Yeah, it was a really good film. And then the only other one I do remember watching, which was actually, I think that was based on a true story, was the Mickey Rourke, the wrestler.
Oh, yes, I did see that one. Yeah,
that was quite good, actually. So even though I'm not a wrestling person, I didn't mind the films. They were quite, you know, I mean, that was quite sad, the wrestler, wasn't it? Because he was like wasted sort of life. I know his life's over. Life's over, but he still loves wrestling. And, you know, he's got no money sort of thing. But no, good, you know.
Yeah, it's quite sad, really. But yeah, I mean, but now, like, you watch wrestling now, and there's no like main characters, shall we say, who appeal to me. Perhaps I'm just too old. They all just seem a bit shit. So
yeah, the WWE. Well, it's been a bit obviously with the pandemic, so there's been no live crowds either. So that's takes away the atmosphere.
Yeah, but I'm still going back even like 10 years. It's not been good for quite a while. I mean, for me, since The Rock and Stone Cold left, it kind of left a big hole, and they tried to fill it, but I just feel that they haven't had any big kind of personalities fill that void.
Well, I suppose the next one was John Cena, weren't it? He did a couple of films as well, didn't he? Because I think the WWE actually have their own film studio thing as well, don't they?
Yeah, I've watched a couple of their films and they're pretty shit, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, it's changed so much because I remember, you had WWF and WCW, and then obviously WWF bought out WCW.
Yeah.
And you had ECW, and then the WWF bought out them as well. So it just kind of, you
they
had
just
one.
They bought up everyone, didn't they?
Yeah, and then it just kind of just went to crap, and it's just a bit sad because it's nice to have that competition, because sometimes you would get wrestlers come from WCW to WWF, and it'd be like, the storyline, he's come from WCW, and then people move the other way, and yeah, it's just great memories, to be honest. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, well, my constantly.
Just to say, there's been quite a lot of games though, considering. I mean, I've picked up games on my travels, and I have noticed that there's a hell of a lot of wrestling games out there from going back.
Well, they used to bring out one every year.
Yeah, and then you've got like all the 2K. Is it 2K? WWK,
2K.
Isn't it? Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, and but yeah, so there must be a lot of followers. People out there that are into the wrestling.
Yeah, but what I've noticed even in the latest wrestling games is they always add in the big the big names like The Rock and Stone Cold, and even though they haven't been in it for 15 years or more.
They put the legends in, or I used to, when I haven't really played a wrestling game apart from these retro ones, but I always used to do the create your own wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, good times. Yeah. The wrestling games are just gone a bit shit these days, but that's, apart from obviously the retro one that you're going to talk about in a bit, and brings about. But anyway, we're going to get onto the news. Been a little bit of news this week, so
it's been loads of news this week.
Well, I've probably missed loads, so you can help me out with that. So that's fine. So the biggest news this week is what's the news that I'm really happy about, to be quite honest with you, is that Sony have backtracked on the closing down of the Vita and the PS3 online stores. So they're going to stay live, but they're still going to be shutting down the PSP store, which, to be honest, I can understand. I mean, the PSP is pretty much a dead system, to be honest, but keeping the Vita store and the PS3 store alive is pretty awesome, I think, and it's nice that Sony have listened to the community, to be honest.
Yeah, it makes a change.
Yeah, it does make a change, and I personally hope it's a little bit of a turning point for them, because this is something that Microsoft have been quite good at doing with community relations, just on social media and listening to fans and stuff like that. And I'm hoping Sony take note now and carry on with this, because I think this is a great thing, because people were upset. There's still a lot of people that use the Vita. It's still a great handheld. I'm not sure how many people still use a PS3, mind you, but the Vita especially is still revered by many people, and still used a lot by many people.
Yeah, no, hopefully they, as I say, they do take note, as in, and the next thing on our list that a lot of the Sony owners are on the case on is about the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3 about the battery issue.
Yeah, the CMOS. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well just tell you what that means. And I had a look at what it is. Any PS4 and any PS3, and this is quite common on all consoles today, have a battery in them, which is basically what it does. It holds the time, so it keeps real time what's going on. I don't know about the PS5 because I don't know the inners of that one. But what happens is on the PlayStation, when you actually first put the console on the PS3 or a PS4, it will look at the battery and make sure that the battery is actually working and it gives the time that's correct. If it doesn't pick up a battery, i.e. if the battery's gone flat, it will then try to pick up an internet. So what it will try to do is it will try to go online to pick up a signal so that the PlayStation will then connect. The problem you've got, this is for if you put a game in your console. This is nothing to do with digital. This is also physical as well. So if your PlayStation is not connected to the internet and it's not, and the battery packs up, if you put a disc in your console, that game will not play. It will start to load and then it will just error and come up with a certain Sony error code.
So will it still do that if you swap the battery out because it's been flat?
Yes.
and you put a live a fully charged battery in, because it can't connect to the internet, it still can't get that time. And I read it was something to do with the trophy system in particular.
Yeah, that's it's to do with that as well. But it's something that Sony could patch.
Yeah,
I don't know why
100%
they've
could.
done this. It's a stupid design. I mean, the problem is batteries have always been a problem anyway. I mean, the original Xboxes, they've got a big issue at the moment. I've got to start taking mine all apart and have a look at them at some point. The very early Xboxes all didn't have a battery in them. They had a capacitor in them.
Oh, right.
What I've found out is the capacitor actually leaks, and then it just destroys the board. So, but the difference is that if it has a capacitor in it, you can't use the console at all. It's fucked.
Yeah. Because I know the Dreamcast, no, the Sega Saturn, sorry, has a battery.
All right.
Has on those old watch batteries, and it's really easy to get to. There's literally on the back of the Saturn, there's like a big plate. You pull it off, and and the batteries just swap it out. Because when the battery's flat, I had this on one of my Saturns last year. If the battery's flat, every time you turn the Saturn on, you have to put the time and the date and all that bollocks in again. So it just holds that data. So lots of older consoles have that issue. Well, they don't have the issue as bad where the games won't load, but it's just a pain having to put the bloody time and date in every bloody time, so
but this is just the stupid. All right, okay, you could say, well, but we live in a day and age where we have the internet. Well, yes, we do, and you'll probably be all right on your PlayStation for quite a while, but where will we be in 20 years' time? All right, okay, you could say the PS3. Well, I mean, how's the PS3 now? It's 2007, so it's about 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine at the moment. Probably the battery will die eventually, but you can still connect to the internet, so it will still play your games. But there will come a point one day where they have to turn the servers off. So
well, they don't have to, but they will. I mean, I remember when they turned off the original Xbox Live service, and everyone, and there was like a, people tried to keep it going as long as possible on Halo 2. But what was quite interesting about the original Xbox Live service was they, in the final few months, the whole of Xbox Live on the original Xbox was running from one Xbox located in Microsoft headquarters. And that was it. They just had one Xbox running all of Xbox. I just thought that was hilarious. It's mental. Yeah.
Didn't I hear the stories that they didn't want the consumers didn't want it shut down, so everyone just left their consoles on live onto Halo. So and it was like just running 24 hours a day.
That's correct. But another service popped up, a third party service called XB Connect. And basically you had to have a PC, so you had to plug your original Xbox into your PC, and then you log onto the service, and it was like Xbox Live, but like a third party version, and it actually worked quite well. I actually tried it out back in the day, and you can actually play local multiplayer games and system link games, which never had a Xbox Live. You could play those online as well through XB Connect, which was quite a cool service. I'm not sure if it's live anymore, but it was quite cool back in the day to be able to do that.
Yeah, but going back to the original thing, that's the next thing everyone's on their case about this thing to do with the battery.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone, people say, "Oh, just change the battery." Yeah, it's not as easy as just like the back of the Saturn. You've got to literally take your whole console.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a quick look yesterday about how easy it is to take an original PS4 apart, and basically you're taking it down to complete component level.
It's mental, isn't it? Because everything's so tightly compacted in on these new console designs. It makes it very hard to do anything. Whereas on the older systems, it was relatively simple, to be quite honest.
Oh yeah, just technology, isn't it? So
yeah.
There we go.
All right, moving on then. Quite a bit of interesting news. Well, not news. It's just a comment made by the creative director from Days Gone. So he came out on social media.
Oh, yeah.
Quite controversial. And he said that players should buy games at full price if they like them, instead of waiting for them to go on sale or be given away as part of services like PlayStation Plus. Well, my argument to that would be, well, how do I know if I'm going to like a game until I buy it? You know what I mean? So it's kind of
I could sort of see where he's coming from.
Yeah,
I can sort of see where he's coming from, because obviously that game has sort of now got a second lease of life, and it has sort of become quite popular now.
Yeah.
Especially since yours truly played it and give it a good shout out.
Yeah.
I think that might have changed. Changed the, but obviously. Thing is, I don't think it helped when it came out. It was a bit broken, wasn't it? And it's been patched so many times now that you've probably got the full proper game experience now, rather than you did when you first got it. So, yeah, he's true in what he's sort of saying, but then he's got to have the game's got to be ready and fully patched and fully working when it comes out to start off with. Then,
So the problem you've got as well is you've got a lot of people that are taking out content and said, "Oh well, this game's going to be £70." It's that whole thing that's come out of it, which it isn't. This wasn't a £70 game. This was a £45 game. So it's slightly different. So a lot of people say, "Oh, yeah, but I wouldn't pay 70 for it anyway." It wasn't that though, was it? It was a £45 game, and that's the price. But yes, it is. I can understand. He probably got RC because the fact being is, he's gone to Sony and said, "Look, we've got a sequel we want to make." Sony have said, "No, we're not making it," because they're being very careful on what they're going to go for, because it was a lot of money to make that game. And that's the trouble. They can't make. I mean, that's the thing with developing these days. You can't just make a game for a few quid. It's
a big investment,
big money. I mean, look at Cyberpunk. That was a big game, and even that came out and it was a complete mess. So it just tells you a lot of games come out and have big problems. Look at Sea of Thieves. That came out, that was a mess. Now look at it. It's a brilliant game now, isn't it? From what you say.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and it wasn't. I played it with you guys, and it wasn't a mess. It was working. It ran fine. But when that was launched, that was a disaster.
It was.
Days Gone. Days Gone's another example of that, and this is the problem now.
Well, games, don't work to start off with, do become sort of cult classics. Like, I think obviously Cyberpunk still did sell well, and but I think when they've patched that and everything, I mean, I've finished it now, but that'll go down as being a sort of a cult classic game, same as like Days Gone, I think is now, and it's a couple of years old or whatever. But I can see what he's saying from the point that if you want these big games to come out, we do need to sort of support them a bit more, and put the money back in. Otherwise, they might not be able to make them anymore, and then we all lose out. Then, don't we?
Yeah, well, it's down to the consumers at the end of the day if they're willing to buy the games at that price point, right? So he can't blame people for not buying them, because one, it's a new IP. People don't know if it's going to be good or not anyway. The casual gamer isn't going to spend 10-20 minutes looking at YouTube video reviews because they can't be asked. A lot of people just walk into a shop and buy these games, right? Or buy them online. So, a lot of people and we've a lot of people are very conscious on how much money they're spending. Gaming is a hobby at the end of the day, and a lot of people don't have that amount of disposable income. Most people I know do wait for sales on games, wait a couple of months or whatever, and that's just how it's, because people know that if you wait a few months that the games will drop in price. Most people are like, well, why am I going to buy this game for 50 quid when I know in a couple of months it's going to be 30, for example, or whatever, So, there's all these variables.
Yeah, I mean, I had it last. I mean, I'm, as everyone knows, I'm more PlayStation and Xbox this gen, only because there's been more exclusives that I like. But I'll be honest, I haven't bought many of them brand new.
Yeah.
I mean, as in not full price. I mean, what have I bought full price? I bought Death Stranding full price and Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was happy with both of them, but I never bought Ghost of Tsushima full price. I bought that for 20 quid. I bought Spider-Man for, well, that was a Christmas present, but that was 15 anyway.
Yeah.
And that's just because, I can't. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima still sells for quite a lot of money, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I borrowed that, so I didn't pay fuck all for it, which is great. So I was well happy with that.
But as I say, I don't always buy everything unless it's something that's really exceptional. It will, I will buy it day one. I quite like buying the indie stuff these days more, because I think that rather, like Little Nightmares, give them the money because they're a small developer and they might go on to do something even bigger and better.
Yeah.
But whether it happens or not,
I mean, we've got Resident Evil out in 2 or 3 weeks, haven't we? I mean, are you going to be buying that? And are you guys going to be buying that full price?
No,
I watched the video.
I won't be buying it ever because
really.
I watched a bit of the video of it. It looks way too scary, and it's not going to be enjoyable. It didn't look enjoyable at all from what I saw of the Eurogamer stream of it. It looked more like she was shitting her pants running around.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm in an iron at the moment on where to buy that, and again,
is that multi-platform?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's I've seen it's £50 on Xbox and £35 on PC. So I'll probably end up buying it on PC, to be honest, because obviously there's that price difference there. But I would like to get it on Xbox for the Chivos. So are Chivos worth an extra £15? Probably not.
They are.
Yeah, I'll probably get it on Xbox.
Yeah.
I never played 7 anyway, so I mean, I have got a copy of 7 here. I've picked up.
Is that
that's the VR
has?
well.
Oh, the
well, it's got the VR all normal. That's the one that Darren played all in VR.
Oh yeah, don't want to play it. I mean, I shit myself playing that just on a normal screen, so I can't imagine what it's like in VR. Fucking mental. Yeah.
No, I watched some of the video on the Eurogame. It looks beautiful, I must admit. But it just looks really. I mean, you've got like sort of werewolf sort of looking monsters. It's like looks really, poo your pants time.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I know. Should we move on?
Yep.
Okay, a little bit more news. There has been news circling that Square Enix might be getting bought out. Apparently there was a lot of parties interested in acquiring them, but Square Enix have actually put out a message or statement online saying that it's all a load of bollocks. So I'm just quite questioning those rumours there. Little bit PlayStation news. Horizon Zero Dawn at the moment is free to download on PS4 to keep forever. So that you don't even need to have PlayStation Plus for that. So if you've got PlayStation,
really, I'll do that.
Download it now. It's on the what's it called? Free stay at home or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know. Something ridiculous. Anyway, it's free, so download it.
Yeah, really good game. Really, really good game, actually. I must admit. I was well impressed with that game.
Yeah. And for Peebs, there's an update coming to the Game Pass app on phones where you're going to be able to actually now see everyone on the leaderboard.
Yes, I see that. Yes, because there's a new dashboard update as well, isn't there, coming out in April? Where they're going to let you cancel the quick resume on certain games.
Oh, that's brilliant!
Because we've covered it, haven't we, a few times now, where the quick resume loses connection. So in some games, it's pretty useless.
Yeah, it is.
Especially games like COD and FIFA and stuff.
Yeah, well, you need to have that online connection. Obviously, when you go back to dashboard, you lose that connection, and then it's just pointless having a quick resume.
Yeah.
And then on Wreckfest, you have to restart the freaking game anyway. So yeah. I think
so you're gonna have the option to turn it off. Apparently.
Brilliant. That's
good. It's like they listen to the people.
Yeah.
Taking
power to the people
on board. Yeah.
And last piece of news that's got a lot of people quite excited is there's a House of the Dead remake coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Be interesting to see how this works with a gun sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I think it's just going to use the motion controls on the Joy-Cons, which is not going to be as good as using an old school light gun, to be honest.
Can't get that.
Is this Nintendo only, is it?
Yes, yeah. And I hope it comes with a gun attachment for the Joy-Cons, because otherwise it'll just feel a bit crap just holding the Joy-Cons. So
is this Sega?
I think so.
Just wondering, because it is a Sega game, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I wonder if this is, because I've not seen anywhere it said Sega. That was all.
I'm pretty sure House of the Dead was made by Sega.
Yeah,
Megapixel Studio. Well, Sega's. Oh yeah, Sega right at the bottom. Yeah, in tiny little writing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. Megapixel Studio.
Yeah, so that's all my news. Any other news you want
to add? Yeah, well, one bit of news is just popped up this evening,
mm-hmm.
And that is that Microsoft have ended talks with Discord, and Discord are going to carry on being independent.
Oh, brilliant news!
Yeah, great news. I know there's lots of people out there that want Microsoft to buy everyone, but there we go, they can't.
I'm quite glad about that because I like Discord as it is, to be honest. I like that it's streamlined, it works well, especially for the 360G community and obviously for other communities as well. I'm a member of quite a lot of Discord groups actually, and it's just a really nice service. And I think, if Microsoft did purchase it, they would just bastardize it like they did with Skype and get rid of Skype and make Teams and bullshit. So yeah, great news there, Stunty.
Yeah, and the other bit of news is that the PlayStation 5 is the fastest selling console in America.
Ooh, I'm amazed actually. There's enough systems out there to be able to sell to say that. To be honest,
but what made me laugh is that everyone. I was reading the comments on this. It does make me laugh on Twitter because it's such a fucking minefield.
I know.
And it was like, it's all the scalpers that bought them. Well, it doesn't matter who's bought them. At the end of the day, Sony are making money. No, so at the end of the day, if there's a bloke down the corner that's got 50 of them in his back bedroom, that's his tough shit if he's bought 50 of them. If he can't get rid of them, that's his fault. So, but yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, I don't think the PS4 was that fast when it was launched. I didn't think it did that great when it came out. And I don't think the same with the Xbox. I think they were both a little bit slow on the out the gate. So whether
I'm pretty sure they sold out. I'm pretty sure they both sold out though at launch.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it was hard to get them afterwards. It's the same with every system launch, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, I remember the Wii was always a bitch to get when that came out because I remember, and then the Wii balance board. I remember that was everyone, all the old dears were out there trying to get them. So, but no, I don't know. But yeah, it's quite. Considering Xbox are doing what they're doing, so people still buy Sony consoles.
Oh, as I said to you, Stunty, I mean, Sony are
it's all the filthy casuals, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say it's all the filthy casuals. Everyone all knows the PlayStation brand, and if that's something you've always had, why are you going to move across? To be quite honest with you.
Well, yeah, they've got a long. I mean, to be honest, even Xbox now is starting to get a bit of a history because they've been around a while now. 2002, wasn't it? I think they came out.
Yeah, roughly 2002, 2003, something like that. Yeah.
So they've been around a while, but as you say, Sony have been around quite a long time now because of the PS1, and you can't take it away from them. They did change gaming.
Yeah, when did that come out? 95. I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. But I just remember when it came out, it was like, I was not gaming at all at that point. I was, before that was the Mega Drive, and it was like you were seeing PlayStations in places that you'd never seen, like nightclubs and stuff. And it was like, oh wow, and they advertised it perfect, didn't they? Realistically, it was advertised for a certain age bracket. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't come across like Nintendo and the kiddie Mario.
Kiddie, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's why it worked. So,
good times.
That's all my news for me, as far as I can think.
That's all our news. Then, should we get into what we've been playing?
Yeah.
Who's first, Peeps?
Yeah, I can go. I've been playing quite a bit because obviously I haven't been on for a little while. So I did a bit of Chivo whoring because I wasn't happy at the fact Webby was beating me on the leaderboard.
You two are terrible.
I think my missus might have overtaken you on the leaderboard for a little while.
She did for a little. Yeah, she did for a little while, and I thought, well, I'm not having that.
Because my missus has been doing a bit of Chivo hunting herself.
Do you just put your kids in the other room and just give them a plate of food and then shut the door?
Pretty much. You just lock them in a room. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've actually completed Cyberpunk.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. I think it took me about 70 hours. I did try mopping up quite a lot of the I did all the side missions, the main side missions.
Yeah.
I was planning on I've still got it installed. I'm just debating whether to go back to it and do some of these gigs. You know, you get achievements for doing all the gigs in certain areas. But I've put it on the back burner for a little while. But yeah, I really, really like the game. I just loved everything about it: the graphics, the music, the style, the story. I just really, really enjoyed it. I think we've covered most of it.
We've talked about it to death, really, haven't we? I mean,
yeah,
amazing game, I think, and I think a lot of the bugs are now fixed.
Although I did have a little, well, it wasn't so much a bug because I've had it on other games before, but I had one of them achievements glitch and it won't unlock, which is annoying. Because on some games you get when you go on your achievements, you can see the percentage and you can actually see it move.
Yeah.
Type thing. You can see how far away you are from completing the achievement. Well, on Cyberpunk it does that. So there's an achievement for discovering all the the fast travel points. There's an achievement for discovering all of them. When I got it onto about 80%, and I was still discovering new ones, and it wouldn't go up anymore. And I did look into it, and it says apparently it's quite a common glitch. So whether that'll get patched later or not, I don't know. But a bit like my man-eater achievement, which I never got, stopped me getting my full 1,000, which was most annoying.
I can imagine.
But another game I completed, which I know you guys have played and you wasn't overly keen, but I actually quite enjoyed it, which was Medium.
Oh, you finished it? How long did it take you?
I think I completed it in about 2 or 3 sittings. I think it was about 7 hours.
Use a walkthrough and full 1,000 it as well?
Well, I got 920. I missed one achievement, which you've actually got, Webby. I've looked on yours and you actually got it. It's where there's like a little mini boss in halfway through the game where you've got to get round him without being spotted.
Oh right, I didn't even try.
No, and the thing is, I got spotted and tried to restart the checkpoint and did it without getting spotted, but obviously it must have counted against me because it didn't unlock. So I was a bit annoyed on that. But yeah, overall I quite like the game. Yeah, it's a bit clunky. Obviously, it's got the old style like Resident Evil, the way you sort of walk around and stuff. But if you can get past that, I quite like the story. I thought it was quite eerie. Obviously, it's like I think it's a Polish game, and it's actually set in Poland, which is a little bit different because obviously a lot of games are set either in America or Japan. So it's sort of a little bit different in that way. But yeah, I found it quite eerie. I quite like the art style. Like I say, it's a bit clunky in places, but it's and it's not a very long game. So yeah, and it's obviously free on game. Well, not free, but if you subscribe to Game Pass, then it's there for you to play. And the Chivos pop quite nicely, so not too bad all round.
Gotta get those Chivos, mate.
I did full 1,002 games. First being Full Throttle Remastered, which I know you did a little while back, Webby.
Yeah.
Which is basically just a point and click thing. Apparently it's like an old classic game. I've never played it. I just followed a guide and got a full cheap dirty 1,000 on it. The less said, the better. Sea of Solitude. This one's a little bit better. We talked about this the other week. Quite like the art style on it. It's quite a weird type style.
It's good.
Yeah, I quite liked it. It started towards the end. I didn't really know what was going on. It's something to do. She's getting spoken to by her family or something. And
it went a bit weird.
Yeah, it gets a bit weird. But it's quite good.
Art style looks nice.
Yeah, it's
I never finished it. I need to go back to it actually, but I sort of seem to have drifted off it. But I think it was just after the bit where it all went a bit weird. I sort of lost what was going on there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Again, it's not a massively long game, so didn't take too long. Followed a guide and got a full 1,000. On that, it's the Chivos are quite good. It's just a couple of collectibles. You have to collect message in the bottles and some seagulls. But you use your guide for that. I used one of your guide, Webby, your mate, the Welsh Hunter or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, he's good. He is.
Yeah, I've now put him on my friends list, which is probably a mistake because he's top of my leaderboard. Bit of a Chivo whore. So
well, yeah, he does.
Yeah, I need to delete him and Daddy Yicken because they're always top of my.
Do you actually play any games without a guide? You know, I can't believe this. Your Xbox, oh yeah, we're serious gamers, but we use a guide. You're a proper gamer, you don't need guides. I don't use guides.
It's only for collectibles.
What, the whole game?
Well, yeah, but it's just like to save time, really, because obviously you could go searching, but it happened to me with Alan Wake when that came out. I think I'm missing like one achievement because I missed one of the collectibles, just one bloody collectible. Can't remember what you had to collect on that now. Can you, Webby?
The flasks.
The flask, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played through that 2 or 3 times trying to find this bloody one flask, and I couldn't never get it.
I love that game so much.
So now Cyberpunk's finished, and obviously I blasted through Medium. I've been looking for like my next big sort of single-player game that I can get into.
Yeah.
So I was looking on Game Pass, see what I could, what I fancied. And I know a few people have said, and Collie's always said it's good. Prey. Which is now on Game Pass because I think is it through the EA thing? I think it's come on through.
Yeah.
But because this is this is like a remake, isn't it? Because there was an old Prey on the old 360, weren't there?
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, see, I remember playing that Prey, but this one I downloaded it. To be fair, I haven't given it enough time yet. I've only played the first 10 minutes, but it wasn't grabbing me.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of it didn't grab me at all, to be honest.
Really? Oh,
yeah. So this is the problem I had with it. I mean, I tried it when it came out. Yes, Bethesda. Hogarth has mentioned it. It's Bethesda.
Bethesda. Yeah.
So because you start off in this like room, and then you're like a test subject or something, and then you go into this kind of open worldy area, and there's like puzzles to solve, and you get these weird weapons, and I was just like, I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. And I know Colin's really enjoyed it, but I just thought it was a bit boring, and I just deleted it.
See, I'm at that stage where I'm like, because I've not unlocked an achievement on it, I'm thinking, do I delete it now before I unlock a 10G and then have that on my gamer score? Or do I persevere? And it might be one of these games that's a bit of a grower. You might get into it.
I did a fair bit of it, as in I think I probably played about an hour or 2 hours of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you were wandering around, you were trying to get to somewhere, and you had all these monsters that were like little sort of, I don't know, they were like alien sort of things, and they attack you. And what you had to do is you got this gun, you had to freeze them, then you could shoot them with something else. It was just a bit. It wasn't really grabbing me, really. It was just, and it had that typical Bethesda style. I don't know, just the way the game was, where you have to go and pick things up all the time. Pushing the button, and it was like,
because is it made by the same people who did the Dishonored games?
It feels that way
because it's very very similar. It felt exactly like, even like the menu screens and things.
Is it Arkham that did it? Because that's who did Dishonor.
So this bit where you got up to now, Webby, on the Twitch, is about where I've got up to.
Oh, was that it? Oh, you've not even got to the main game. That's not even the main game yet.
Oh, isn't it? All right.
No, you've not even got to the main.
It doesn't get any better.
So you
the bit on the helicopter was quite nice, actually.
So you get in later, and there's all these weird shadow monster things.
Yeah, that's it. The weird monster things, isn't they?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I played. I sort of like in the afternoon. I was getting a bit tired, and I think I was sort of, my eyes were starting to close a bit. It's more like siesta time. So perhaps I wasn't giving it my full attention. So I think, well, maybe I'm going to give it another go.
Give it another go, mate. I mean, you never know.
The worry I had, is I played a bit of it. I got past all this bit, and it was then, is this what I'm going to be doing for 20 hours? And that is why it then put me off. You know, I wanted it to do like a Bioshock sort of thing, and it just didn't happen, did it?
Yeah, no. So next one is, I know you listened to a bit of the podcast last week, and you mentioned that Rain on Your Parade.
Oh,
well, because it was Patreon, wasn't it? So I only get the first flipping 40 minutes.
Peeps,
I put all this effort into.
I've given you access to the whole.
Oh yeah,
shows,
I keep forgetting about. I keep forgetting. Yeah,
I need to give it to Stunty as well. Actually, I just remembered.
You didn't.
I'm saying I need to.
Oh.
So yeah, I played the Rain on Your Parade. It came out
I love it. I love it.
Game Pass. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It's a strange little game, but
it's really funny because my boy, it's like this morning. I got up at 6 o'clock this morning just to download MLB The Show to play it, and he obviously woke up with me, and he was like, "I'm trying to download MLB The Show," and he's like, "Daddy, I want you to play the cloud game. Play the cloud game every morning since it's come out. Daddy, play the cloud game." He loves watching me play this, and I love playing it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. But anyway, peeps, carry on.
Well, yeah, I'll just echo everything you say. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just quite like the art style. It's the simplicity of it, and it's quite a lot of levels, but they're like short and sweet. Some of them are a little bit longer than others.
It's quite comical because they have Frogger in it.
Yes,
and Frogger actually makes references to the original game. There's a Metal Gear Solid level in it, which is absolutely hilarious. And there's also there's a whole series of levels that are dedicated to The Office. You remember the TV show? Yeah. So, and I mean, I haven't completed it yet, but there's lots of references to other games and pop culture and TV shows and stuff done in a really funny way. And I as I say, I love the art style, and I just love the fact that, you know, your cloud gets different powers as you progress through the games. You start off where you can just rain on people, and you get little things to do in the levels, not just raining on people. But then later on in the game, you get thunder, and then later on you get snow, and I think you get some other
tornado.
I've not unlocked the tornado yet.
Yeah, I've completed it, mate.
Have you? Wow.
Yeah, I've completed it in one sitting.
Bloody hell. Well, what's your name?
It's not massive. It's not an overly massive game, but yeah, some of the levels are really quite short and sweet. But
some of them are quite tough though as well to get all the objectives. So I haven't even looked at the achievements yet because I want to complete the game and then kind of go back and maybe try for them afterwards. But it looks like there's going to be a lot of quite interesting ones, to be honest. But yeah, it's done so well, and it's a true gem, and this is what I love about indies, is they really, like, a lot of the indie developers really just make new and creative games. I mean, I've never seen anything like this, and it's a true testament that it's available on Game Pass as well, because you can get it on the Switch and on the PlayStation as well, and I think it's like 15 quid on those systems. So yeah, it's really good. If you've got any system, pick this game up. It is absolutely fantastic.
Yes, it is. What else? Quickly, Gears Pop.
Gears finish for you
this weekend. I think it finishes.
Oh wow!
So that's why a lot of people have been like trying to rinse the last few achievements. I think because I'm in a Discord community just for Gears Pop. There's quite a few guys in there who have actually got the full 1,000 game score on it now. Just been rinsing it like mad these last. Because they've had a few updates now, so they've actually made the pins easier and you're getting more money and crystals and stuff. So it's been easier for people to rank up and stuff. I've managed to max level 20, which I think is probably going to be my last achievement on it. I'm still 200 gamer score off the full 1,000, but they're just probably not achievable now. I think one of them's defeating 1,000 pins, and I'm on about 800 and something. So just not going to do it now. So I'm pretty much pretty much done with it, so you probably the last you'll hear of it. But it's been okay for a year. I think on my timer on my Samsung phone, I've done about 120 hours.
Bloody hell, Peebs! That's 120 hours of sitting on the toilet.
It's not just the toilet. Sometimes, like in the morning, I'll have a cup of tea. The missus, before I go to work, the missus, before she goes to work, she'll bring a cup of tea up for me, and I'll sit there, and the news is on the TV, and I'll just let's have a little go on Gears Pop, and she'll say to me, "When's that bloody game going offline? I'm sick of you playing it." It's just like a little time filler. But yeah, it finishes this weekend, so I don't know what I'm going to do with the mobile. Yeah, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of mobile games, isn't there? But it's just the fact that it links to your Xbox was what I liked about it. With the gamer score and stuff. So I wish they'd do more games like that link. Me and Stunty had a little go on Outriders, didn't we?
Yeah, God, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, God, yeah.
Not surprised.
Yeah, God, that was bad.
I know. Me, you, and Captain Venom have been playing it a lot, haven't we, Webby? We've sort of been doing it as a trio, but you two weren't online. So Stunty was, and he was a bit further behind than me, so I went back and helped him.
Yeah.
But we wasn't really feeling it, was we, Stunty?
No,
really.
It's not grabbing me at all. It just feels just.
See, when you're playing with me, Peebs, you have a really good time. I think it's just Stunty.
It just felt like go here, shoot enemies, move to the next area, shoot enemies, have cutscene, really cheesy, move next scene.
That's just like Gears of War, isn't it?
Yeah, the new ones. Yeah, I mean the old ones. The old 1, 2, and 3 had a proper story. So not like this gash that they do now.
Well, I think some of it was obviously I was going back and helping him, so I was repeating myself in a way, but so I could sort of understand it from my point. But yeah, certainly weren't feeling it. I mean, I could sort of see where it's coming from. Like it's like you go into an area. 100 and literally they do throw a lot of enemies at you, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
And it's not an easy game either. So you can be fighting these enemies for quite a while, and then you'll do that bit, get a bit of loot, go into the next area, and you're doing the same all over again. That's how it feels at the minute.
Well, that's just like any loot shooter game. You look at Destiny; it's exactly the same. Division is very similar as well.
I guess.
Yeah, it's just that type of game. I mean, I haven't played it since we last played Pete's because I've been quite busy the last few weeks doing some other stuff. But I mean, when I'm playing with you and Venom, I'm really enjoying it. No, it's not as good as the Division. But it's still, I mean, I just think it's an enjoyable experience just for something to play with your mates in co-op and shoot some dudes and not really think about the game too much, if that makes sense.
And it seems popular still. I mean, there's still a lot of people on my friends list playing it regular.
Yeah.
So obviously people do like it. I mean, some people like them sort of games. People like the looting games. So
yeah.
It's got an idea there of a good game, but I don't know. It just didn't really grab me, and it was just, I don't know. Maybe because I mean, as I said, I fell off the Division 2 because that is again the same scenario. It was go to one area, shoot enemies. The only difference with the Division 2 though is you don't really have the big cutscenes like you do on this. Which are really iffy anyway. I think some of the cutscenes on this Outriders, and the Division 2 was quite. I thought the setting of the Division 2 was better.
Yeah.
It's like proper real life,
Yeah, whereas this is like some random alien planet, which is just a bit.
And I don't know what the story is because I keep pushing the skip button.
well, then that's your own fault, then, isn't it? Because I've been watching that.
Yeah, but the story's absolutely terrible.
Well, how do you know if you've not been watching the cutscenes? Come on.
Well, I started. They were, a good story I do like, but no, this wasn't a good story.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm quite enjoying it just for the fun times. So, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be for everybody, so I can understand that 100%. But yeah, I think it gets better as you progress. I'm on to like the 4th area now, and it does get better. But yeah, I know what you mean. It does get a bit samey, very repetitive.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get back into it with you guys, and and try and complete the game. So it's not dead for me. It just is a little bit repetitive. That's all. But what else? I've downloaded off Game Pass Lonely Mountains Downhill, which
it's a good game, man.
Yeah, I've quite actually enjoyed it. It's quite a basic, simple game, but it's because I go a bit of mountain biking Sunday mornings sometimes with my mates. Because I know you guys were talking about, what was the other game, the mountain bike ones? Descenders, that's it. Yeah, because I played that a while back. This is.
I don't remember you ever talking about that.
Yeah, last week we were talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys were talking about it last week, and I said I'd mentioned this about 18 months ago. I'm sure I did.
Well, that's a long time ago to remember.
No one pays any attention.
No, we don't, peeps. To be honest.
Next.
But yeah, this is well, it's sort of similar. It's a little
mountain bike game.
Yeah. What was it called? Downhill.
Lonely Mountains Downhill.
Is this the one that's side-scrolling sort of? That's all three. It's 3D style, is it?
Yeah, it's like 3D.
Yeah.
Oh, I played that. Yeah, that's hard.
It is.
Yeah, it is hard. It is hard. Yeah. But quite addictive. It's got the it's got that way, a bit like Trials, where you go through a checkpoint, and then if you crash, you start back at the checkpoint again. But yeah, I've been putting quite a bit of time into it, and the Chivos are quite stingy on it as well.
I'm surprised you've been playing it then.
Yeah, it's just because I've been quite finding it addictive, and you think, I'll just have one more go, and it's just one of them type games. One more go.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not overly massive. I think there's 4 levels, but then each level has a couple of tracks, and then you can get different bikes and things. So, but yeah, it's only a little game, but like I say, it's quite addictive. It's on Game Pass, and it's worth a punt.
You indeed do.
Yeah, it was worth a play. I must admit, I played it one night. I don't know why. I just fancied playing it. Gave it a go, and you get to a bit, and then you just go around a bend, and you just take the bend too wide, and you just fall off. And then you go and do the same exactly again. And then you do it again. And then you do it again. You're like, why do I keep doing this? And then you think, right, okay, I'll go past that really slowly. And then you go too slow and still fall off. So, and it's one of those, just one more go. And it is. And
the thing I like about it, there's a lot of shortcuts as well.
Yes.
You get to learn the tracks a lot more. You're like, I'll do that again, and because there's these shortcuts, I can get my time down.
Well, when you unlock a new track, the first go is called the Explorer, and basically what it's doing, you've got no time set, no checkpoints, and you just go down the track, and you're basically just doing that. You're exploring, so you can take your time, try and find out where all the shortcuts are, and then when you get to the finish line, it then opens it up to like proper racing. So then, because you've done the Explorer and you've like tried to explore the track and memorize bits, you can then try and go down it quicker and get good times. But yeah, did you play it on Xbox, Stunty, or PlayStation?
No, Xbox. It was on Game Pass.
Oh, right. So you played it recently then, yeah?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago I played it.
Yeah,
because it's... mentioned it, to be honest. I probably forgot because, I don't know, just didn't...
Because it's got actually online friends leaderboards as well, which is quite good.
Oh,
so
nice.
you can go on there and see, see if Webby's top right, I'm going to try and beat him on that track sort of thing. Which is quite good because I always like online leaderboards.
Yeah, it makes it just a little bit more competitive. Yeah,
exactly.
I don't even know if it's on PlayStation, to be honest, because it's only digital only. It's not physical.
Yeah, isn't it? I just don't know nothing about it. I don't know who makes it or anything. I just see it on there and thought, I'll have a little go on it. But it's like what you were saying the other week, Webby. It's this Game Pass. I know it's got its knockers, but it's. This sort of game would never have played otherwise.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you find some hidden gems.
Yeah, hidden gems, yeah. I'll quickly mention FIFA only because I know at the beginning of the people who was in the Twitch were here.
We were talking about football for a while and I nearly fell asleep, but yeah.
Peeps is leaving FIFA. He's going to set up his new league.
It's the fact that obviously I've mentioned in the past that obviously we've had our own pro clubs years ago, but and it was quite popular at one point, but then it sort of all disbanded, and I joined then, who were our rivals at the time, Ruffy and Stu's FIFA team. We used to have some classic matches against them, and I did the like Luis Figo when he moved from Barcelona to Real Madrid. I moved from 360G to Ruffy and Stu's pro clubs team.
Did you pay them to move?
But yeah, there's quite a few community members and stuff who play in his team, and you've got Darkest Frost and Prince and Iceman and stuff. So he's got quite a good little community for the team there. But they sort of play every Wednesday night, amongst other nights. But I haven't played for a little while, and I thought, well, I want to play this week. So I messaged him saying, I'm up for it this Wednesday. And because I've now got the Series X, obviously I've re-downloaded FIFA, and it's downloaded the Series X edition, which you can't cross over onto Pro Club. So if people are playing on the old Xbox, you can't cross over, so I can't play.
That's so
yeah,
retarded,
it's annoying.
Yeah.
The only way around it, which Ruffian did message me, is because I've bought the Series X edition, I do get the old version free as well. So basically, what you have to do is download that, so you can just play pro clubs on that edition.
So basically, copies of FIFA.
Yeah, 2 copies of FIFA. So it's taking up 2 lots of your hard drive.
Yeah, that's
so annoying.
Yeah, I don't understand why it won't cross over. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, yeah, because you can cross over on like on Wreckfest and that, can't we? We've been doing that. So yeah, it's a bit odd. And I think Ruffian did say he has got a Series X, but because people haven't been able to get them yet, it's only fair that we just carry on the.
Yeah,
I
can understand that reasoning.
And then next season it'll go cross over onto the Series X. So
yeah,
I was umming and ahhing whether do I re-download FIFA and take up another 40 gig of my hard drive just to play pro clubs every now and then. It was a bit of a dilemma, but I didn't in the end because, as you know, I'm always struggling for hard drive space.
Yeah, that's a good one, mate.
Yeah, quickly mention Call of Duty, only because they got the big update coming this week, Season 3. It's where apparently they're going to nuke Verdansk.
All right.
And from what I've been reading today, it's going to be a big nuke, and then it's going to be set back in the 80s, and it's going to be like it's going to be like pretty much Verdansk again, but set back 20, 30 years, like 80s, like Cold War type era, and it's going to be like when the stadium's like half built and things like that. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what that brings. But it's good that they're still sort of, refreshing with new seasons and new map updates, and obviously in the past they had the what was the one before Warzone? They had like a battle royale, didn't it? Which I quite like, but it didn't really take off. But this one, obviously, it looks like it's going to be a mainstay now, like compete with Fortnite and PUBG and stuff. It's going to, and Apex Legends. It's going to be a mainstay, and they're just going to keep updating it. And I think that's it's a good thing. It's going to, me and Collie, Anthem and Ales on a Saturday, still play it religiously when I'm not working. Still enjoying it. So, but yeah, like I say, the only downside is all the hard drive space it takes up.
Yeah, apparently in the new patch I read that they're going to be bringing the file size down, so that's a bit of a winner.
Yeah, that's a bit of a winner. I mean, I've been through it this week, and because I've got Modern Warfare and Black Ops and Warzone, I've been through it this week and deleted the campaigns and things, so I've reduced it slightly.
Yeah.
But it's still big.
Yeah.
And then quickly, I've been talking a while now. Like at the beginning, my intro, Hulk Hogan, I've been playing Retro Mania Wrestling. Now, I've had it about 2 or 3 weeks, but obviously I haven't been on the podcast to talk about it. And this is a sequel to WrestleFest, if everyone remembers that. Now, this WrestleFest, I mean, this is a sequel, but this is 30 years later. because WrestleFest was 1990, I think it came out.
Oh, wow.
And if you remember, it was more. I don't even think it was really on the consoles. It was more a proper arcade cabinet game.
Okay.
And I mentioned it the other week. It was done in the style of Simpsons and Turtles and Moonwalker.
Oh, nice.
It was like the 4-player. You know, you could have 4 players on it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the big, and you obviously it was Hogan, Legion of Doom, and Jake the Snake, Mr. Perfect, and all them in that era.
Yeah.
Well, this one's done exactly the same sort of style, but it's not licensed by the WWF/WWE, so they've not got any like wrestlers of the present era in it. So, well, they've got Legion of Doom, but they're called the Road Warriors, which what was their original name? Because the trouble is, obviously, they can't have these wrestlers because they're all copyrighted.
Yeah.
And I think the Road Warriors weren't copyrighted, so they're in the game. Although there are wrestlers in it. There's a couple of British wrestlers in it who are proper wrestlers. They've got some of the ECW wrestlers that were from back in the day. Basically, the wrestlers that aren't copyrighted by the WWE.
Yeah.
That they've been able to put in. But yeah, it's really I really enjoyed it. It's probably a bit pricey. I think I didn't pay, but it's priced at I think it's about 20. Is it £23, something like that? For like an arcade-ish type game, probably is a bit on the pricey side. So it's only for like I had a couple of people message me saying, "Oh, what's that like? What's that like?" And I'd say like if you remembered and played WrestleFest and you enjoyed that, then you like it. And if you like sort of old style wrestling, is it 32-bit? I'd say, is it 32 or 16? I'd say it's 32. Don't really know.
16. It looks like to me. I would say.
Yeah, look at the video.
Game. Yeah.
Yeah. If you like that sort of art style and the wrestling, then it's really good. There's like a championship mode where you go off and you have to fight 10 people to get to fight the champion. You can do tag, you can do 3-way, cage matches, tag team. You go out pinfalls anywhere. You can go outside and use the chair. I really, really liked it. Like I say, it's a bit pricey, but I used my Bing points.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Didn't really, and that's another thing, Webby. I've got to pull you up actually, because I don't know how many times I've come on here and mentioned my Bing points, and I've been slated by you and Dan, and then you yourself now have started collecting Bing points.
Have I? When did I say that then?
You told me the other week.
Oh, I can't be asked. I did it for a couple of days. I was just like,
have you stopped? Oh, have you stopped doing it now? Then
effort, mate. I can't be bothered. Got better things to do with my time, mate, than go onto Bing and search for bullshit.
Oh my God, you two are terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it then, really.
Cool. Stunty then.
Right, okay. I play quite a bit actually. I'll try and get through these as quick as I can. Still playing It Takes Two with my daughter when I can get her to play it with me because she doesn't seem that enthusiastic. Did the second level, I think it was, the one with the machine that slides across and you've got to jump and put the nails into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, did that, got past that. That was a bitch that was to do, that boss. The coordination was just a nightmare between me and my daughter because she either did it wrong or I did it wrong, so it just took forever to finish that boss. And then the pain is when you do fail it, you've got to go all the way back to the beginning again. Yeah, that did suck balls, but we did it.
It's a great game, mate.
Yeah, it was a good game. Yeah, we're enjoying it still. We're on level 3 now, and we're going to just do a bit each, probably once a week with my daughter, trying to get her to play with me. It's unreal. Too busy doing other games. So yeah, that's that. What else I played? Tried a little bit. I know I said about it when I was last on. I tried a little tiny bit of Marvel Avengers because it was on PlayStation Now. I'm not going to give it much. I'm not going to say much about it. Only that I thought it was crap. There we go. I just thought it was awful. It felt very poor from what I played of it. It didn't feel nothing like a Spider-Man game, which was, which I love. This just felt a very poor I mean, it looked nice, but it just, I don't know, it's just something about it. It just didn't feel right. It was just, it just felt old. Some of what you were doing in the game, and it was just a bit.
When it got
stupid,
slated
really.
in the reviews, didn't it? And it sold terribly as well, didn't it? It lost.
Did
Square Enix lost a lot of money on this game.
Right. Yeah. I know Sly said he started playing it, so when he's
but he's a bit of a fanboy, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. See, I don't mind Marvel. I like certain Marvel films, but I'm not going to like all of them, and I just take them as they come. I'm not going to get the comics. I mean, Dan's probably the next person that probably give his opinion on it, but I think Dan will probably be the same. So it's no way as good as Spider-Man. So and I wasn't even a Spider-Man fan, but I quite enjoyed that. So next, what else have I been playing? Still playing. I went back to Days Gone. I dipped off it, and then I thought I gave it a little break, and then I've gone back to it again. I've done quite a bit more on the game, and I was telling Peeps the other night where I'm up to, but I've got bored again with it. I don't know what is with this game. I like the game, but it just feels way too much filler in this game. It gets
that's how I felt.
Really good.
Mm-hmm.
It gets really good. Then it's like, go and pick this, go and pick this, go and do this fetch quest, go and do this fetch quest, and it's just I don't know, and it's a very dark and moody game because it's depressing, isn't it? It's the end of the sort of world sort of thing with zombies, and I get into it for a bit and really love it, and then I sort of have to have a break from it, and now I'm having another break on it, so I'm on my second break, and that's quite hard on games, to try and go back to them again. I mean, you loved it, you did, didn't you, Peebs?
He's probably gone to have his dinner now, hasn't he?
I've gone to the toilet.
So, I mean, you did it all in one hit, didn't you? Days Gone.
Yeah.
It's a
not in one sitting, but yeah.
I know that.
No, he didn't do a Sly.
I mean,
I really enjoyed it. I couldn't really put it. I couldn't put it down. I thought it was a great game.
I don't know. I just for me, it's just it grabs me, and then I lose it with the game because it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't really. I mean, I get frustrated as well. It's like I'm on a certain part of the world where you've got to destroy these birds' nests. I'm like, right, yep, okay, I'll mix up some Molotovs, whatever you call them, Molotovs, and then the next thing you know, I haven't got any. Oh, I've got to go hunting to find stuff to craft again, so I can't do this bit. So I've got to, it's a fetch and quest mission system.
Yeah, the thing that got me was there's a lot of these what are they called, zombie den things, and you have to set them on fire, and then you have to clear them out so you can fast travel. And some of them are just such a chore because there's so many of the fucking things, and they're actually really difficult as well. You die a lot trying to clear them out, and then you run out of fuel all the freaking time. I was just like, oh, you know what? I love the story. I'm loving the main missions, but all this extra bollocks is just doing my tits in, and that's why I fell off it, to be honest. Which is a shame because apart from those bits, it's a decent game.
Yeah, it is a good game. I mean, as I say, I've just come up to my first horde that I've had to do, and that was fucking hard. That was really hard, and it's just after that I'm now doing more fetch quest missions, and it's just like I'm gonna give it a break for a little while. I think the problem I have is I don't get that much to play on games at night, so if I end up playing a game for like 3 weeks or a month, I need to play something else because I'm going to start to go mad if I keep playing. It's like doing like going to work every day, isn't it? You go mad doing that, but the only difference is you get a pay packet.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes. But in this, all I get is a trophy.
It's not quite the same, is it? No,
it's
put
not
food
really,
on the table.
No. Yeah. So it is a good game. I mean, there's big rumours saying, it wants a sequel. Does it deserve a sequel? I don't know, really. I mean, the problem is zombie games are quite... we've gone through a run of zombie games recently, haven't we? With Last of Us, and then this, and then we had The Walking Dead, and I think the zombie, and then we've got this. There's a zombie thing coming out, isn't it, on Netflix?
World War Z, and there's been a lot.
Are we getting overdosed on zombie stuff now? Is it sort of getting a little bit, fatigued on it? I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why they didn't want to do a Days Gone 2, because people have got fatigue on zombies now. Who knows? But no, I'm still playing it. It's a good game. But I'm going to give it another break.
I just with that, the story really grabbed me on that. I don't know why, because a lot, like I said, with Outriders, the story's not grabbing you, and you end up just skipping them. Just skipping them. Whereas I didn't want to skip anything with this, because it's all about trying to find his wife, and whether you I don't want to spoil it. I know it's an oldish game now, but I don't want to spoil it really. But it's I just read the story, and it's especially with this pandemic going around, it's quite believable now. Like years ago, you see all these zombie things, and you're like, oh, made in, like what's the film? One set in London, 28 Days Later. It was all set, it was set in a lab, and you think, oh, it's a bit far fetched, and now you think, well, is it?
Well, it wasn't last Monday, was it? They were all outside Primark.
Yeah, exactly.
They were standing there, weren't they? Got to get in Primark. But no,
I know you got the zombie bits, and it perhaps gets a little bit repetitive, and the zombie bits are hard, but it tries to break it up with the, you've got the human enemies, and you've got the little areas where you can break into and get the things, and you've got to try not to set the alarms off and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that was good. That I quite enjoy that, and fighting against the humans. What I think one of the bits that did piss me off is that you're just riding your bike along, and next thing you know, some dude with a sniper rifle just shot you. It's like, oh, for God's sake, I've got a lack of health as it is, and it's like I'm trying to get back so I can get some stuff sorted, and it's like, and then you just end up in a whole world of pain that you try and get through, and it's like, oh, blimey, I've finally done it. And then you get back to your bike, it's like, oh no, I'm going to make it, I'm going to run out of fuel. So, and there's that too, that is good. So, I don't know, I'll probably I'm just going to give it a break. I've been playing it for the last 3 weeks, and I'm just going to give it a break for a bit. So, what else I played? Picked up Monster Hunter Rise. Sorry. Monster Hunter Rise. Dan's right. It is quite easy to get into.
Makes a change, doesn't it? He's not right. He's not right about a lot of things, especially politics. But about games, he's pretty switched on, isn't he?
That's probably about the first thing ever, Dan. Sorry, he's going to slate me.
Right. He reckons he doesn't listen back to the podcast, so he's not going to hear any of it.
We'll see.
I haven't done much of it. But from what I've done of it, I quite enjoy it. The only problem with the game, though, fucking Nintendo and their stupid fucking controls. I keep doing the wrong thing all the time. When you're playing a PlayStation all day, and it's like I play Monster Hunter Rise. Next thing you know, I'm giving myself health every 2 minutes. It's like no, it's good graphically. Yeah, it looks nice. It runs lovely. I haven't played a Monster Hunter since the Wii U, so I've had a little bit of a break, on them. And it's good. I like the you can sort of catapult yourself across, like with your rope sort of thing. I don't know what they call it. Dan's probably sick to go. I know what it is called. But it's good. I mean, you've played it as well, haven't you?
Yeah, well, it's actually on my games played. Like a lot of the games that you guys have been playing, I can scratch off my games played list for when it's my turn to talk. I've been playing quite a lot of Monster Hunter Rise the last week or so. I've been playing a lot of it in handheld mode, a little bit of it on the TV. But what I've done, because I did mention it last week, I picked up the Hori split grip controller for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, yeah,
And it's actually made it like a brand new console for me, because it's just... they're so much more comfortable than the normal Switch Joy-Cons, because I find the Joy-Cons quite small. Now, I don't have big hands or anything, but I get a little bit of hand cramp and stuff off those Joy-Cons. So with this, it's just like, oh wow! And I literally every evening before I go to bed, I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise. And what I've been doing, my stepson Evan has got it, and he came round the other day, and we were both sitting in the front room, both playing it online together as well, and having a lot of fun. And I've been playing it online with a lot of Japanese people, funnily enough. But the thing that I'm liking most about it is I did spend a lot of time, quite a lot of time on Monster Hunter World on both the Xbox and the PC. And what I'm liking about Monster Hunter Rise is it's just the simplicity. So in Monster Hunter World, it's like the main hub area is stacked on a lot of different levels, and it's quite hard to figure out. I mean, I still don't know half of what to do in that fucking game. Whereas on Monster Hunter Rise, it's all set out in this little village, and it's very easy to navigate. You can fast travel between the little areas just in the main menu. It tells you who to talk to do the main missions for the hunts, and then you level up as you go along. And it's just there seems to be a lack of story, but I'm not really that bothered. I'm just because you get missions to hunt different monsters. And I'm literally, all I'm doing is, right, I want to do that monster, but I'll go online and search for a game where someone else is also hunting for that monster. So I'll always play it co-op with people, and that makes it a lot easier.
You're not playing it on your own then at all then?
No. So there's two hubs. So you got the main village hub, and then there's in the gathering hub. So in the main village hub, I can't find a way of joining people. So I literally, so what if I want to do those monsters? When I start it, I put out a request for people to help me, and people usually join. Whereas in the gathering area, there's like a little quest board to the side, and you can select to join people from there. So that's pretty cool. But the only downside to Monster Hunter Rise for me is obviously I've been used to playing World on the PC and the Xbox, and the graphics are really, really nice. So it feels like a bit of a step backwards in the graphics department, because obviously it's a Switch game, so it's running on tablet hardware, so the graphics aren't as nice. I actually think it looks better on the little Switch screen than it does on my big ass TV, because obviously the graphics are, it's more spread out and it looks quite grainy. But it's still, that aside, it's a very fun game. Your character moves a lot smoother. Getting around in the levels is a lot easier because you can jump on the dog and run around. And you've got all the customizations, upgrading your weapons, choosing your different weapons, choosing different armor, upgrading that as well. And you get when you're in, so you get a dog who also fights as well, gets a little sword in his mouth, and you get a little cat as well that helps you fight. If you're playing a multiplayer though, you lose your cat. Because your cat's going to be kind of extra help when you're playing single player, but when you're playing multiplayer, you just get your dog.
Yeah, the cat doesn't help, doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
Well, you can choose. You can choose what attributes they do whilst you're.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can choose them to give you health a lot, or to attack more, or there's a variety of different options that you can do that. And I think there's a lot more to the game which I haven't found out or done yet. But there's a variety of different areas. You've got like a forest area, a snow area, like a volcano area. And there's probably more. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a really, really good pickup. I do recommend the Hori Split Pad Pro if you're going to be playing it handheld, because it just makes it more comfortable. The buttons are bigger. Obviously, you don't have the rumble or the gyros though. So if you're missing out, if you don't want to lose those, then don't bother. But obviously, if you're playing it docked, then use a Switch Pro controller. It works really nice that way as well. But yeah, it's a great game, and I'm really hooked on it on the Switch at the moment. I'm literally every evening I'm jumping on it for at least half an hour, do a hunt or two.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Today's probably the only day I haven't, but I've been just going on every day and just doing one mission.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something I can see myself playing for quite a while actually.
Yeah, so, that's it.
I enjoy it. I think, as I said, the biggest problem is because I'm playing other games on other consoles. I have to remember what buttons do what. So luckily the attack button is on the triggers. That's good. It's just I have to keep forgetting that the square button is the actual health button. Well, no, it's not square, is it? No, sorry, because I've forgotten what it is on the Switch.
It's Y.
It's Y, is it? Yeah, it's all back to front, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, stupid Japanese.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. No, it's a good game. Definitely well worth picking up. So,
yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
My main game is a game that I bought just after Christmas and played it for 10 minutes and never played it again. And then yesterday, I thought, I want to play something new because I'm off work at the moment because I pulled my back out. And I'm like, I want to play something. I don't want to play Days Gone. I want to play something new, something fresh. And the game I put on, and I've done 6 hours since yesterday.
Wow.
Is Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I'm loving this game. It's brilliant. I've got the upgrade as well, which you get free. So it's on the PlayStation 5 because it's a PS4 game I've got, but you get the free upgrade. So it's on the SSD as well, so it runs really nice, really quick. No issues at all with frame loading, stuff like that kind of crap.
It's like Zelda, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right. The story, there's only one thing on this game that I don't like, but once you get past it, you'll love it, and that is it feels a little bit kiddish with the cutscenes.
Yeah, I know
and
what
that
you
is
mean.
because you've got a couple of characters, Zeus and Prometheus, and basically they're chatting about this dude called Typhon, and it's just the way it's done. It just comes across a little bit of a younger generation. I wouldn't say young as in like 5-year-old, and it's got that funny humour to it as well.
Yeah.
But once you get past that, it's actually a really good game. I mean, this is made by the people that made Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing I have noticed already is this game is massive.
Yeah, it's got a very big map. I mean, because when I had my Uplay Plus, I mean, I was cancelled it now. I did play this game for a couple of hours, and the first thing that I noticed was it feels very much like Zelda on the Switch, because you've got the big world and you've got similar moves where you can glide and climb walls, and then you got the dungeons dotted around the map as well. So it was very, very similar, and the art style is kind of similar.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the main thing is the main thing with the game is, which is different, is there's no XP. So if you attack any enemies, you don't get any XP for it. So it's no point going around, trying to find an enemy and attacking them.
Yeah.
You have to do the challenges. So basically, you're going around the map. You will come to a place where there could be a portal that will go into a different place. But before you get to the portal, there will be enemies there. So you have to kill the enemies. Some of them look a bit like Jabba the Hutt, actually, which is quite fun, but with horns on their head.
Yeah.
Because it's like part of this devil that's controlling all the land. Very much like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, with like Ganon.
Yeah.
This is Typhon that's living in this castle. Very similar scenario. And then when you go into this portal, you'll go into a sort of puzzle where you've got to do some kind of puzzle, very much like the Zelda things where you might have to move blocks. You've got to get a ball into a certain hole, which will then make these platforms that open up that will then you can glide through and then go through up into the air. It's good. I quite like the puzzles. They're quite challenging. Some of them are. Everyone says, "Oh, it's pretty easy," but I got caught on a couple, I must admit. I think so far I've only looked one up, and it was only because I didn't know where it was. I couldn't figure out where the puzzle was. The attacking versus the enemies is good. There's no shields in this game, so basically, what I've noticed is you will do an attack, and then you can do a side swipe, which is basically you can slide to the side of the person, then you can attack them. So what happens is they will try to attack you. If you do a slide movement, then it will give a bit like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where they will do something other and then they're open for an attack back. There is on a certain section which I've just done, there will be a certain the main dude that is controlling all the lands, he will at some point in the game, every now and again, stick one of his minotaurs down. Achilles, they call him Achilles. He will come down and he will try to attack you, and he will just keep attacking you until you can kill him. They are a bit of a ball ache because they're hard to kill. But the way you get rid of them is you have to find the portal, which doesn't tell you where it is on the map. You've got to figure out where it is. If you kill him in the portal, he won't then come and attack you in the main game, because he can attack you any time in the game, which is a pain in the arse. Because if you've got lack of health, so I actually had to put the game down to easy because I was playing on normal and I just kept getting destroyed.
You play all your games on easy, following your walkthroughs for Chivos.
No, it's good game. I mean, the other thing as well is you get stamina as well, so you've got to be careful. You can't keep attacking something continuous; you will lose your stamina. You have to let that quickly build up again. When you're flying, you can fly around on the map. If you jump off a cliff, again, you're using stamina. Same with when you're climbing up a mountain, a bit like Zelda, you're using stamina. It's a really good game. There's a lot more to this game that I'm still finding out now.
Yeah.
The world is amazing. It's a really amazing world. It's this godlike world, godlike statues as well. I'm reading the reviews actually on this now, and it's got really high reviews.
I don't think it sold very well for some strange reason, though.
Well, because it came out at a wrong time, didn't it? It came out exactly when Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out.
What's it called?
Why you released
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Oh, yeah, I have heard of it.
So, but no, it's a really good game. I mean, if you get the chance to pick it up and you want something that's got a little bit of an action, an RPG action element to it with puzzles, I think you're going to love it. And this is what I've found. This is the thing, you play certain games, you're doing shooters and so, and you think, I want to play something a little bit different, something that's going to get my brain going as well. And that's the thing with the puzzles, which makes it a little bit more interesting. I mean, there is all things in this where you can level up, but a lot of the leveling up is to do with what you find in the world. It's not to do with just going around attacking things. So that makes it more of an exploration. Whereas, a lot of games, it's like, just get this XP up to that, and then you can level up to the next thing. On this, you've got to look for portals to try and get through to do the puzzles, or you look for chests. Even some of the chests that you find, which are very much like a Zelda.
Yeah.
The difference is it doesn't make the funny noise, but you get her tapping on the chest, and you can get something come out of it from, I don't know, a piece of armor, helmet, or the full gear. It's good. I mean, there is all DLC to this game as well that's you can pay for.
I'm not surprised it's Ubisoft.
I've been told that one of the DLCs is completely different to the main game, as in it's a top-down sort of battle game or something or other. So very bizarre. But at the moment I'm really enjoying it. It's
brilliant.
I'm pleased. Something that I played for 10 minutes and thought, oh God, I'm not sure about this, because of the way it starts just a bit, I don't know, just
cheesy. Yeah,
it's a bit cheesy and a little bit, but so far I've not really had, I mean, once I got past that bit, it's just been gameplay. I've not had big cutscenes, and that's the one thing that's been great about it. I mean,
looks a little bit like Fortnite.
Yeah, it does a little bit, doesn't it? It's got that Fortnite style to it. Fortnite, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, cutesy sort of rounded off graphics, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but no, it's good. The attacking on it it's not. I mean, you think, this is going to be a walk in the park for the fighting. No, this isn't just your quick couple of slashes. They're done. Now, some of these you've got to really think what you're doing. You've got to wait for them to attack. I mean, sometimes they can do the whole. They will sideswipe you, then they would jump, and then they would do something like, oh, here we go. This is like Dark Souls now. Even though a very basic version of it. I don't know about some of the enemies because I've only done 2 of the big boss so far. So, but who knows? But it's it's good. It's probably dropped in price. I think it's about 25 quid now.
Yeah. It dropped in price quite quick, like a lot of Ubisoft games do. Funnily enough.
So, but no, it's great. It's well worth picking up.
Cool.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's me done.
Awesome. So I've not got many games at all to talk about now because you've talked about a lot of them, which is fine. So I played one game that I've been playing a lot and two new games this week. So I'm going to talk about very briefly Sea of Thieves. Played a little bit of that this week. Been playing. I had quite a good session with Ruski, Darkest Frost, and my missus. Will had a really good session on Sea of Thieves this week. Hunting treasure and doing our thing. It's just so I love this game because whenever we come across random player ships, it's like, right, what should we do? Should we go after him or not go after him or whatever? And it's just a hell of a lot of fun. I'm not going to talk about it too much. I'm just to say that season 2 is now out, so it's like every other fucking game. It's got a season pass, so if you want to buy that, I haven't bought it and I'm not going to buy it. But if you're really into it, there's a season pass where you can level up as you play and get some in-game items and kind of your cosmetics and all that bollocks. But yeah, still really enjoying Sea of Thieves. I'm glad that my missus has got into it now. So yeah. Fun times, just that exploration, the awesome graphics. It's one of those games that the whole family can play. Cool. So there's that. I've got a new game in the post today. Ring Fit Adventures.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you get a workout?
I did. This thing's a bloody hell, I tell you. It's you think, oh yeah, it's just a little ring and that's it. But what it is, like, you get this ring and you put one Joy-Con in that, and then you get this leg strap and you put another Joy-Con into that. So they work together, and it's like this little story. It's like an RPG, and it's got a series of levels to get to like the main boss dude or whatever. And you need to get through the levels, but like to get through the levels, you got to jog on the spot. And you think, oh, it's only jogging on the spot. But after like 5 minutes or whatever, just constantly jogging on the spot, you're like, I'm fucking knackered already. So you're like jogging on the spot, and then like you like to go up the stairs in the game, you like have to jump with the knees really high, and you have the band, and it's really bendy, but quite has quite good resistance as well. So you push it in and you can like shoot things when you're pushing it in. You can point it and it turns on the screen, or you like pull it and it's like sucking in the coins or the rings and stuff. It's a good workout actually. It's really good. And what I like about it is it tells you how many calories you've burnt because it asks you to your weight and your height. Yeah, and then after you've done your workout, like it tells you, like you could do multiple levels, but there's a clock in the corner, so it tells you your total workout time that you've done for that whole session, and then after you finish the session, it's like, right, you need to stretch, so it gets you to do a load of stretching exercises as well. So it's kind of looking after your body at the same time. But there's all these different, all the different exercise moves. And then as you're going through the levels, there's like it's like an RPG where you get battles. So then so it's like a turn-based battles, and you have to do exercise moves to get to do harm to the enemies, right? So it's quite fun, but yeah, you will, if you do it properly, you'll come off this feeling bloody knackered, I tell you. So
how long are you going to keep this up for?
Probably about a week.
My missus lasted a week.
Really? It was the same when the Wii Fit board and that came out.
Yeah,
we was on it constantly for like a couple of weeks. Thought it was the best thing ever, and then the novelty wears off and it gathers dust.
Yeah, and then the price of them drops, and they were expensive, those balance.
And then you see them. Then you see hundreds of them at car boot sales.
Yeah, and do you know what? They all went up in price at the beginning of the lockdown, didn't they? They went back up all the way up to the price that they were selling for brand new.
Yeah,
crazy, isn't it?
Well, the Ring Fits were really hard to get, so I've only just managed to get one now. So
this one seems a lot more in depth, and obviously the technology's advanced a bit more now, so this should be a bit more accurate and stuff.
Yeah, Yeah, so I'm gonna try and keep it up. I've got the because it sets reminders on your Switch, or your Switch like pings at you to say, "Oh, it's time to do exercise now." Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna try and do it because I'm on a bit of a health kick at the minute because I've put on a lot of weight over the last year or so. I don't think I've ever been this big, so I've changed my diet. Quite big, and I'm trying to do more exercise. So me and the missus are doing walks every day, trying to keep our steps up using a health app on our phones, and then obviously I've got the Ring Fit as well. So it's something a bit extra. So we'll see. Hopefully,
because the Xbox brought out the one, didn't they? Was it the UFC workout thing? Never really took off, did it?
Well, it's annoying because I actually thought the workout thing on the Xbox using the Kinect was really good, and I used it quite a bit. And I bought some of the DLC for it, and then they fucking jacked it in.
Yeah.
But they did give everyone refunds on the DLCs, which was quite nice.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. But yeah, this Ring is quite. It's interesting because you think it's just a ring, but it's because it's quite It's quite a lot of resistance. You push it in or pull it out a few times. You're like, bloody hell, it gives your arms a good old workout. So, yeah, it's good. It's good fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And then the other game I've been playing, of course, is MLB The Show 21. It only came out. It only came out today on Xbox Game Pass. It's also on PlayStation. It's actually it was really weird, like because when I first loaded this up, it starts off saying Sony Studios. And you're like,
really?
It's just so weird seeing that on a Xbox. Yeah. I did make one simple mistake though. So because I woke up early this morning, I thought I'll be smart and I'll load up the Game Pass app on my phone and put it to download onto my console. So I downloaded onto my console, and I only got to this afternoon where I realised, because I was pinning, because I do my pins on the dashboard for easy access, it said MLB The Show 21 Xbox One. I was like, what? So it's like with FIFA, there's two versions to download, and I downloaded the fucking Xbox One version.
God.
So I deleted that and then downloaded the Series X version, which is like 30 gig bigger than the Xbox One version. But the lucky thing is, my saves just carried over to the Series X version, so I didn't lose anything. Because I've played it quite a bit today. Now, one thing that I will say is they have this mode called Diamond Dynasty, which is very much like in FIFA, where you have the card packs. Yeah. I don't know what it's called in FIFA. Ultimate Team. So it's exactly the same as that. So there's these card packs, and you can buy them with real money, and they give you random players for you to make your team, and you play online and all that bollocks. And so that's the one mode that obviously I'm not gonna be playing because I don't want to spend actual money. But you do earn these. They're called stubs. You do earn the currency by playing all the other modes in the game to buy the packs anyway. But I could see people getting very addicted to that mode and spending a lot of money, which is shite. But I'm loving it because there's a lot of different modes on this. So you got one mode which is Road to the Show, which is very much you create your own player, and it starts you off in it drafts you onto a team, and you can actually there is a way to choose teams. So you start off in the minor leagues, and it's your player. You choose a position he's playing in, and then he works his way up eventually to the major leagues depending on his performance. So you got that mode, which is really, really in depth and really, really good. And then there's a really good mode that I'm really loving. It's called March to October. So basically the MLB season runs from March to October. And what it does is it shortens, because the games are long, right? Very, very long. So what it does...
This is what I was going to ask, yeah.
So what this mode does is it does it in a really good way. So you choose a team, and it's basically you do a whole season, and you got to try and win the World Series at the end. You know, try and get to that many wins. But it does it in a really good way. So you don't play all the full games of the season because that will take you forever. So what it does is you play parts of some games, like the last 3 innings in some games, and some of them you do play the full games, but you don't play every single game. So you've got certain challenges to get your team on fire. So if you like win so like on some of the examples, you'll start, say, two runs down, and there's like two innings to go, and you got to try and beat that team. So if you win, your team will be on fire. So you get a load of little fire icons, and then it'll auto play the next, say, 4 or 5 games in the season. And if you've got the little fire icons, there's a higher chance of the team auto winning in the simulation those next 4 or 5 games. So it's obviously you need to do well, so the simulated games will hopefully win. So it shortens that season down quite a lot, and it's just quite a nice way of playing it because you can just dip in and out, right? So that's quite good. So you've got those 2 modes, and then you've got another mode which is like a management mode. So it's basically, you say you pick the Red Sox, you play the season's full, but it's like a sim as well. So you manage everything. You manage the hiring and firing of the players. You scout. You send your scouts out for players. It's like a proper management sim, but you're also playing it as well. So that's quite cool. But there's a lot of options for people to play as well. So you can put it on like nub mode, and you'll be able to hit the ball really easy with the bat, or you can put it on the harder modes. And there's a lot of different ways of playing it as well. So there's what I really like about it is there's a setting where it adjusts the difficulty depending on how you're playing, so you always get a little bit of a challenge. So if you're doing really, really bad, it makes it easy. If you're smashing home runs all the time, it makes it a bit harder. And at the beginning of the game as well, it gives you a lot of different control styles as well for hitting and pitching and for throwing the ball as well. So, for example, with the pitching, you get a different way of doing it. So there's like a little bar where it goes like green to yellow to red, so you need to get it in the right zone. Or there's a way that I do it where there's so you choose the pitch, and there's like a pulse, and you have to time your button press where the pulse is at the smallest, so it'll stay in the zone. And then with the hitting, you can have different ways of doing it. So your left stick, you push it in a direction and you hit the ball, and it may go in that direction if you're lucky. And there's various and there's other ones which I can't quite remember because I don't do them. I'm just going with the modes that I'm used to from playing them on the PlayStation. So there's a lot of options for people to use when playing this game. The graphics are absolutely outstanding. They're so good. And I know people rib on baseball, but playing MLB The Show, like I just downloaded it when it was on sale on the PlayStation back in like 2012 or 13 or something like that. And that's actually what got me into the sport. Playing this game actually got me into watching the sport. So I don't think you need to be into the sport to actually enjoy a sports game. I've been playing a little bit of NHL because it's on Game Pass. I don't watch hockey, but it's quite a fun game to play. So, it's on Game Pass. Maybe check it out if you're interested. I don't know. But I'm really, really enjoying this as a big baseball fan. This is the baseball game to play because it has a lot of options.
Is it cross-play online?
Yes, it has cross-play as well. So if you're playing online, you can be matched up with PlayStation players as well.
I happened to read, I read something on the Eurogamer that all the PlayStation people were looking forward to going on Game Pass because they reckon they were going to be able to win a load of games against all the Xbox newbies.
Well, there's a lot of players. I mean, especially in America, of course, where a lot of people only buy a PlayStation to play MLB The Show because it is the only decent baseball game out there. So there's probably going to be a lot of people out there that haven't been able to pick up a PlayStation but might be able to buy an Xbox who are veterans at this game but are playing it on Xbox now. So
people that buy FIFA every year, though, isn't it? You get people that buy that. Yeah. They only buy one console and play one game on it.
Yeah, so I mean, I've never played this game online ever because I've always been into just the Road to the Show mode, just my own player and that. But if anyone in the community is up for a game on it, I think.
Thing is, would online? How long would an online game take?
Don't know. Depends how long it takes. The innings, maybe an hour.
So, I mean, that's a long time, isn't it, to be playing online with someone without them quitting or.
But I'm sure if memory serves, there is options to have ways of shortening the games down, like less innings. You know, and other options anyway. So
it's the trouble with these sort of niche sports games. It's like cricket. I like cricket, but I never really like cricket games because they're so long-winded.
Yeah.
And rugby games have really took off. I mean, there's a cricket game on Game Pass now that I keep looking at, but I just think, well, I'll probably play one game and then just never play it again.
I wouldn't mind playing a cricket game, but do you have to can I just do the batting?
Yeah,
I don't want to do the fielding.
I quite look at this baseball game, but I think I quite enjoy the batting, but everything else will probably be a bit boring.
See, that's the thing, right? If you're doing the Road to the Show mode where you make your own player, you choose a position for that player, and you only play that position. So you'll always be batting, and say if you choose to be at second base, you'll always be batting and then at second base. That is all you'll do. You know, whereas if you're doing if you're doing the other modes where you're playing a full game, you'll be pitching and hitting and doing a little bit of the fielding, right? So it's all those different aspects, right? You know, and so the choice is yours, really, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, it's I mean, I've been excited for this for ages, and I've been playing it, as I say, I've been playing it a little bit today, and I've been really, really enjoying it. It's awesome.
So is this all licensed? It's got all the proper players and everything.
Oh yeah, it's got all the players, everything, mate. Yeah, everything.
I might have a gander.
Awesome. Cool. That is all I've been playing. So we're going to quickly go to the questions. We have a specific podcast questions room in Discord now, which makes it a bit easier for me to find the questions, which is nice. So Dazpaz asks questions. Hi guys, do you think the Nintendo Switch is worth the money? I already own a Series X, PS5 and a PC gaming rig, so I have a lot to be getting with. However, I do like the look of Zelda and Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, and even Dan's chat about Animal Crossing has me interested. But with me only being interested in a few games on that platform and the price tag, would you recommend me getting one?
They are quite expensive still, aren't they? Because they're like 280 quid still, aren't they?
280, yeah. And I wouldn't recommend the portable one.
No. And then the other thing as well is you ain't going to get Zelda or Mario Kart for under 30 quid each.
And also, there's obviously the rumours of the Switch Pro coming out this year. So if I didn't have a Switch now, I would probably wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy one secondhand either. I don't know what it is, but no, it's like anything like that secondhand. You just don't know if it's been knocked or
Yeah, and the second-hand prices are pretty much the same as brand new prices at the moment anyway. So
are they? Oh, well.
Yeah, because I've been looking recently because I was half tempted to buy a second Switch, but then I changed my mind when I saw the prices and thought I'd just wait for a 4K one and buy that instead. So.
Yeah, because they're 4 years old. Do you know that?
I know, that's mental. I've got so many games on my Switch. It's scary.
Yeah, I've got a lot of games on the Switch. I've got a lot of games I've not even given it the time of day.
Oh no, same here.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. I've actually bought Stunty, a second Switch dock. It's coming tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, just so I can play the Switch in my man cave on my TV, on my monitor.
How much is
Because
that?
it was 35 quid.
That's not bad. I might have to get one of them.
Yeah, but it's
myself.
just the dock, not the cables or anything.
Yeah, but they're only US. It's only HDMI and a.
Yeah, so yeah, but for the Switch you need a specific power adapter that does the exact voltage.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've already got a second one because I bought one off Amazon a couple of years ago, and it's an Amazon Essentials charger, but it was specifically for the Switch, so it's cheaper than the Switch one. Can't remember how much it was now. It was a couple of years ago I bought that. So
Doesn't matter. I play the Switch in the living room anyway. So
yeah. So good times. Daz Pos says, if you could only get one Switch game, what would you get? Oh, that's tough. I loved Zelda Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild. Oh, such a freaking good game. That's probably the top game on the Switch, in my opinion. What about you, Stunty?
I don't know. I wasn't a fan of Breath of the Wild.
Well, fair enough.
It was all right. It didn't grab me as much as everyone else.
I mean, Monster Hunter is up there for me now as well.
I'd say Mario Kart, really. It's been really good, Mario Kart. I really enjoyed it.
I haven't played it enough, to be honest.
No, I really enjoyed Mario Kart.
Byron says Smash Bros. I mean, that's good, but I haven't really played it loads because I don't know, something about it where I'm not really super into it.
And Animal Crossing, really. Yeah, that's probably...
That's what Dan would say.
Dan would say Animal Crossing.
I was watching my daughter play it the other day because she just put it on the other day and started playing it, and I just sat there and watched her play it, and she's like building roads everywhere at the moment. So,
see, the only problem with Animal Crossing is if you're sharing the Switch with someone, you can't fucking play it because you can only have one island per console, which is absolutely ridiculous. It really, really is, and it's so frustrating.
It's all right though, if you've got what I've got, and that is I get my daughter to do all the groundwork. She does.
You just jump in there,
and I just jump in there and grab all the fruit and the rest of it. And she's building all the roads and putting the paths down.
But it's silly though, isn't it? They actually put that in there because they want people to buy more bloody consoles. It just that just pisses me off. Really does.
It is a really good game though, Animal Crossing. I will say that. But then I remember playing it on the Wii, and it was really good. I have actually got a copy on the GameCube somewhere. I picked up for £1 at a car route, and that's actually goes for good money actually on the GameCube. And I'd love to give it a go one day and see what it's like. It's probably really dated though.
Cool. Next question is from Wes, who says, "What games have you put over 1,000 hours in, if any?"
1,000 hours.
The only game probably for me 1,000 hours is Gears of War 2. Because as I said, I think I mentioned it before. I got up to 700 in the world, and that was a long time ago now.
Wow.
That was on 360. Yeah. And that was high. That is 700 in the world. That's really high. But I was obsessed. I was obsessed with that game. Used to just come on at 7 o'clock in the evening once my daughter had gone to bed and stay on till 11 every night.
I'm at about 1,800 hours or so on Final Fantasy 14. I can't think of any other games I've spent that many hours on. I just don't think I have, to be honest.
It's probably Call of Duty, maybe, for me.
Yeah, you've done a few hours on that now.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look, because you can look in the barracks and it tells you how many days and that you've done on it, doesn't it?
Oh, wow.
I don't know how many... Well, I'm not the greatest at maths, but I don't know, 1,000 hours. How many weeks is that?
A lot.
It's quite a lot, isn't it?
Any other questions in the Twitch chat? Because that is literally all the questions we've had. If not, we're going to end it here.
Good, I'm ready for bed.
So am I. I've got to get up early tomorrow. Back at work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, back at work tomorrow, 5 days. Ooh. Yeah. I'm guessing there's no more questions in the Twitch chat. Okay, on that note, we are going to end it here. Awesome.
41 days.
Wow.
So what it is?
Yeah, 1,000 hours. It's
Wow.
41 days. Yeah.
Byron's done 900 hours on Fallout Vegas. Bloody hell.
Bloody hell. That's not even a multiplayer game.
Oh, no. That's insane. Wow. Goodness me. Right, and on that note, we're going to end it here. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming on. It's been awesome.
Cheers.
So from me, Mark Webb, Gamertag, PissOnD, SteamID, Webby, 360G.
Resident Chivo Hall, Mr. Peeves.
Resident PlayStation Trophy Man. It's #1 Stunt Master. Not really. Just thought I'd do that.
So thank you very much. If you want to support the show, please visit patreon.com/360gamercast. If you support the show from as little as £5 a month, you get a podcast episode every single week of the year. You can find us on Twitter at 360gamercast, same with Facebook. And if you want to join our vibrant Discord community, just copy the link and paste it into a browser from the show notes. So thank you very much. We will see you next week. Goodbye.